Okay, I've got some vocals, so we're ready to go. And this will be a screencast. And although I'm going to be over here in BISS 1123A, for those of you who are students in Section B, all of this applies to you as well. You have identical assignment due dates, the whole bit. So this is going to be for the week. And I'll publish this, and so basically the BISS 1123 screencast for the whole week. Now you say, well, what are we going to do? Well, as you would surmise, I'm going to review where things are at this point for everybody in the course, and we're in the modules section. Now I have sent all of you an email that contains my schedule for the week. So you've received that. You've also received invitations to the for my virtual office hours on Monday the 1st and on Wednesday the 2nd. And of course, Tuesday the 1st and Wednesday the 2nd. Those are the days I'm in Oklahoma City. Now, on Monday and Thursday, I'll be in Shawnee. And here's the announcement. Here's my schedule. So you know my office hours, virtual, you know my office hours when I'm in Oklahoma City. And I sent that information here to you also via email. So you've been contacted and should know what's going on. Well, I doubt I'm going to spend even 30 minutes today going over this, but I'm going to make sure that you understand. Now, we're down here at week 13, and it says week 13, 5153. This is I'm in BISS 1123 section A, and they meet on Tuesday, Thursday. So they meet on Tuesday the 1st and Thursday the 3rd. Section B meets on Monday the 30th of this coming week, and on Wednesday the 2nd. So again, this screencast is for all of you. All right, and you'll notice we're at the point here where there's no flex time, no class meeting. Now I'm gonna post this over here, and so this isn't an official class meeting. This is more just like a thing to get you ready for finals. But I wanted to take the time one more time to talk about it, okay? Now, these are the work that was due on the 26th. This is what you have ahead of you that's due on May the 10th. And I've covered what should be on the function paper, uploading it, etc. I've also gone over the instructions for the spatial analysis exercise, and you have that. Okay, and then access cases 5 and 6 are due, and we've done them quite a while ago. So you should have them. You really ought to have had them uploaded already. Here's the spatial analysis exercise, the function paper, and they're due the 10th. And week 14 is the week before finals. Now on finals week, you're going to need to come over here and check to see the finals schedule. And here's my schedule for the finals. Okay, and I'm just going to scroll down here and you'll see 1123B. Section B, your exam time is Wednesday the 16th from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Thursday, the 17th, this is for Section A. your exam time will be 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Okay? So those are the times for these two sections that are due. Now, again, I don't feel the need to go back over all of these assignments and how to do them and look at the instructions and all that. I've done that, okay? But I want to make sure that I did, one more little screencast to let you know I've emailed you I've emailed you my schedule. I posted it here in the announcements you have, and if something happens that changes, I'll contact you, okay? And I feel like having gone through the final enough times with the written instructions, etc., you know what's going on. Now, I want to make sure you understand, though, okay? The final exam, part 1, is due at the start of the final exam period. In other words, it's due at 8 o'clock in the morning on the 17th. And part 1, you'll upload your Microsoft Access file and then your Excel file. Now, if you don't have access on your machine, you need to be in the lab and do the work. If you don't have a machine at all, you either need to be in the lab, the lab's doing it. Particularly, probably BBC is going to be the best one, and you should know how to log into to the VMware now on the cloud and do all that business. Don't forget, when you work with a file, okay, any files you pull from Canvas, download it to your desktop so it's in the machine environment, rename it, open it back up, okay, and then save it in the desktop again. That way you have a file you've saved, not a view of a file. That's what you get when you operate. And there's almost all the time there's somebody who has some problem with that. Make sure you do that. Secondly, okay, final exams part 2, it's due. If I were you, having these hands-on kinds of thing, okay, that are due at the start of the exam period, I get them done. Now, you also have part 2, part 3, and part 4. These are quizzes, okay? And I think I've given you 40 minutes on each one of them. So 40 minutes is 120 minutes, 2 hours. I would not, if I were you, make the bad decision to sit down with the textbook and or the website, and even though it's open book, open up, folks, it's timed. And if I were you, I'd chunk these off, these exams. Remember, once you submit them, they're submitted. Okay? You got to understand that. If you decide on the day of the finals to work in the lab and something happens, that's one thing. But if you're working remote and something goes wrong, that's your problem, not mine. You've had plenty of time to go to the lab. You see, if I hadn't been running this course in this format, you'd have your posteriors perched over at BBC Lab all the time. So if I were you, I'd go ahead and do the work of the lab. And even if you're not finished, then try to email yourself the file so you can then download it and finish it. That's on these parts 1 and the part 1A, part 1B. Okay? The exams, that's a different matter. You got to do them when you do them. I have to repeat it one more time. The class ends at 10 a.m. the 17th of May. That means, unfortunately, if you want to give me more work, you want to submit, all submissions are stopped. And I always get 1 or 2 surprise emails from people going, "Oh, they won't let me upload." Well, it's simple. The course is over. So don't put yourself in that predicament, okay? and I've gone over what they cover and where you can find the material for them and all that business. So I don't feel much need to do too much else. Now, so I'm pretty much at the end of this screencast for the simple reason I've done about all I can do to get you prepped for the stuff that's coming up, the projects, the Excel function paper, the spatial analysis exercise, the final part 1A, and you want to call it, and part 1B, and then parts 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And I want to just make sure to remind you, I'm going to click over here on the announcements. All right. I see in announcements an invitation to virtual office hours on Wednesday, May 2nd. Okay. And that is, I think on that day I'm going from 11 in the morning till 5. That's 6 hours. So don't cry to me, I wasn't here to try to help you. Okay, because I'm there for virtual hours on Wednesday. The same thing on Tuesday, basically 5 or 6 hours. Okay, I've given you my schedule, which includes all of those, and I'll be in the office over there on Monday and on Thursday. Okay, so I've done all I can do at this point. You have to do the work yourself. Now, I want to address one final thing, and that is I always get, at this time of year, people get religion about their coursework. And I'll get an email saying, well, I know I've missed 7 assignments, but could you show me some grace? Unfortunately, no. First of all, the course policy is first time it's late, it's half credit. From then on, it's zeros. I've learned I have to adhere to that policy, because if I don't, people will never get their work finished. So I've adhered to that policy, and I have to try to treat everyone fair. It'd have to be a highly extenuating circumstance for me not to do that, especially when we've worked on these workshops in advance, okay? And I said, okay, here it is, upload it so you can get the workshop credit. When you've known when the exams are, and you could work them and you could submit them at any time. So I'm sorry, I just don't know. There's a certain point I have to draw a line and say that the course has deadlines. It has a time of start and finish, and you need to have your work uploaded. And it's always tough, but look, if you put yourself in that hole, you made the decisions. I did not. And as I said to you when we started this course and this journey together in this course is a tough one, because it requires you to do some time management, to work independently, to make sure that you take the opportunities to get work done. Now, I'm not dressing anybody down or complaining to you at all. I'm just telling you that I make it deceptively easy. And as you've run into with the hands-on parts of the course, when you weren't paying attention or you didn't attend or look at the screencasts, you suffered because you had you had tasks you didn't know how to do. And the reason you didn't is you didn't look at the screencast, you didn't have the textbook in front of you like I encouraged you to, and you either didn't take the file that I showed everybody, here's how to do it. That's why I call it a workshop, okay? Or try it yourself and upload it. So at that point, I'm not sure what else to do. Now, one final thing, I want to talk to you about this, and this is when you're on the border of, say, a D and a C, or a B and a C up to a B, or a B up to an A. If you want to know how I handle this, okay, I'm going to show you, because I have a metric that I use. In fact, it's the metrics that are here in Canvas. I think I've mentioned this to you before, okay? And I'm going to go over to Keith Harmon. All right, and there's my email. Well, let me find the. I think I had a student here. I don't want to do a real student. Oh, here's more user details. Some membership. Okay. Let me see if I have that student. Okay, hang on here for a second. I think I'm going to go to student setting. Well, I'm going to try the student view and see if it will pop me up there. But here's what I'm saying in shorthand. Yeah, I may not be able to get a view. Okay. Yeah, I haven't uploaded things of that set. Let me put it like this, okay? Make it very simple. Canvas has a metric, and that metric is 100. If you are participating just about on the same amount of everybody's participating, you're going to be around 100 or a little bit above. If you're really participating and taking part, you'll be way above the 100. It's kind of like a criterion. If you're below it, you're not participating. And so if I've got somebody who's on the bubble, I'm going to come back and look at the analytics and see. The analytics let me see what you did, when you did it. It lets me see how much time you've put into the class. Okay? Logged in here. And then you get a score. So I have a way to gauge that participation and maybe to fudge you a few points. But if you haven't participated that much, you may not, if you haven't, but you've done the work and got in and all that, you're probably fine. Okay. Now and I look at total activity time. I look at that metric. Okay. And those help me determine those kind of intangibles about whether I ought to pop you a grade level higher if you're a few points within. And that's a few points. Say you're at a 696 and you need a 700. By the way, if you make a D or less in this course, you get to repeat it. And you're fine. And that's just, it's just the deal. Now, I'm trying to think of it. If there's any other thing, finally, I should tell you. Jupyter is the official grading is the official grade book. If you should see a discrepancy, contact me, and I'll come back and check to see at Canvas what's going on. And again, this all applies to everybody in 1123A and in 1123B. And I'm just going to post this and say this is for the whole week. Okay. And I'm going to post it for Monday and for Tuesday and that. And so you say, okay, what about Wednesday and Thursday? Depending upon your section, well, you've got it done there. Okay. And so I'm hoping you'll be smart enough to get your work done and work ahead and all that good stuff I've talked about. Okay. So I'm gonna call this a wrap, and this is just kind of a short little blurb. I'm gonna post this in post this for Monday. I'm gonna call it for all section BISS 1123 this week. And I mean, there's just really not much more I can do. I've covered what's due in the finals, how to extensively. I've covered these projects you've got. So I just don't see too much more that I can do except to just these reminders, etc., kind of housekeeping details, and that will do it. Okay? Well, I'm going to stop the share and then stop the recording and end this. Remember, you have my schedule, so you know when I'll be in Shawnee. If you have a question or a problem, you'll know when I'm over here in Oklahoma City and my virtual office hours. I'm gonna go here to the announcements for a minute. And I'm gonna come down here for my schedule for April the 30th to Friday, May 4th. And here it is. Now, my eyes are telling me that I'm looking at, I have 4.5 office hours on Monday, noon to 4:30. On Tuesday, I'm over here. I have virtual office hours from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. I now will have had 9.5 hours of office hours. Then on Wednesday, another 6 hours. So now I'm at 15.5 hours. And then on Thursday, let's see, noon to 4:30. So I'm this week, I have 20 hours of office hours, whether it's virtual. I have 9 hours of office hours that are in Shawnee in my office, 11 hours virtual, basically like 20 hours. So, yeah, you sent me an email and said, I tried to get a hold of you. I'm sorry. I've been there. You need to stop by my office if you need to talk, or come and go into the virtual office sessions when I hold them. Okay? And I will probably just post this on for every day of the week so there's no confusion. And I'm going to stop the share at the end of the meeting, and hope you all do well.